In this video, we're going to show you our installation for pumping wastewater 2 metres up to join the mains sewage network. Hello and welcome. Now when you're below the sewage line, often the only option for wastewater is to pump it uphill to get to the sewage pipe. And as part of our sewage renovation, we needed to find a solution for the kitchen, and we found it really hard to find detailed information online. So in this video, what we're going to do is we'll include which pump we chose and why. We'll take a good look at the pump itself and also how we did our pipe runs. And stay with us until the end when we'll share a really useful tip for reducing the noise from your pump. Now we had some criteria to identify the unit that we eventually purchased. The first one was how many entry points did the solution have for waste pipes. We thought we needed 2 or possibly 3. So being the cautious types, we searched for one with 4, simply because you just never know. Another criteria was the height that the unit could pump to. And we also wanted it to have really good reviews, because for us, that was quite important, because the last thing we wanted, for obvious reasons, was to have to deal with the breakdown of a pump. Now we're based in France, so our options might be different if you're based in the UK. But in the end, we purchased the SFA Sanavit 3 from Amazon. And it's worth sharing some information on that before we look at the installation. Here's the chart showing what the pump is capable of. On the left we have vertical metres and along the bottom throughput in litres per minute. The maximum height it can pump to is 5 metres, in which case it can pump around 50 litres a minute. The shorter the vertical distance, the greater the throughput. Now we're pumping around 2 metres in height, so our throughput is 90 litres per minute. Now the first page of the instructions were exactly what we needed before we purchased the pump. Basically the rules of what you can and can't do regarding the pipe runs. And for us, point 4 was particularly useful.
Here we're standing in the cloakroom and the kitchen is on the other side of the wall to the left. We're installing the pump in an area behind the cloakroom and underneath the stairs just up at the end there. So this is the pump all installed. You can find a link to it in the description below in case you're interested in finding out more details, such as price. You can connect up to 4 waste pipes to this model, and we're using the 2 at the bottom. This one that comes from the left is for the sink in the cloakroom, and this one on the right comes through the wall from the kitchen. Now at the top there are 2 more, one here and another one here. The pipe in the middle is the exit, if you like, from the pump, where everything gets shot up through to reach the main sewage network. Now, this was, to be fair, what worried us the most about the project. Why, you may ask? Well, when you look at YouTube, most of the videos that I could find, at least, are from manufacturers who are promoting their pumps, and they always have this lovely, perfectly vertical pipe run. And in short, we don't. We're not like that at all, and that did worry us. So now let's take a look at the pipe run and what we've done. So the pipe comes out here, and this is an anti-return valve which stops anything nasty flowing back down into the pump. If we follow the pipework up, then here we've got a diagonal run before we get to the first corner, second, third corner, and finally then into the sewage outlet pipe. This top pipe is actually for the toilet, which I'll cover in a future video. You'll perhaps have noticed that our corners are all quite gentle. We haven't used any 90-degree bends at all. They're all 45 degrees. And this long diagonal run is about 1.5 meters long. The sewage pipe this is all connecting to is the one we installed an inspection chamber to in the previous video, and I've linked it above on the right just in case you'd like to take a look at that video. Now, when you want to attach a pipe to the pump, it is very easy. Our pump was delivered with all of the pieces necessary to do this. So what you'd do first of all is you would cut off the top of whichever one of these two inlets you wanted to use. We're just talking about a few millimeters or so here, but it's quite hard plastic. It's the same material as the actual pump is made of. So you're probably going to have to use a small saw to cut this off. When you've done that, you take your rubber cone. This is a rubber cone. The unit came with 4 of these, and one for each of the 4 outlets, the 2 on top and the 2 down the sides. And you put your rubber cone over the top like that. Now you need your 2 Jubilee clips. Your first Jubilee clip goes around the bottom here and attaches this rubber cone securely to the unit. Because this is really hard plastic under here, you can tighten that really quite well. Now, what you also need to do now is cut a hole in the top of this such that a 40mm pipe can go into it. So you can cut it off wherever you would like to. So you've got that on there. You've got your hole in the top of this cone. Now you're going to put your 40mm waste pipe down into the cone, and then you secure it, the waste pipe, to the rubber cone with your second Jubilee clip, just like that. And that's all there is to it. Now, in effect, what I'm trying to explain to you is exactly what we've done down here on the sides, where you can see the rubber cone and you can see that there are 2 Jubilee clips right there. Now, if you were only using the 1 or 2 of these top entry points, you'd need to make sure the 2 at the bottom on the left and the right were watertight. And with the kit comes 2 of these stoppers, I guess you'd call them, for want of a better word. And the way these work, you've got this bit here has got a black waterproof washer on it, and it literally just goes inside this bit here like that, and then just screws on to the side entrances here. Because when this isn't on, when the rubber bit isn't on there, you'll actually find a thread that this can screw onto, and that gives you a nice watertight cap.
Okay, so everything's all plumbed in now, and we thought it might be useful to do some footage to demonstrate the noise levels. So first of all, I'm going to run the tap in here. Hopefully you heard that, but that's the kind of level of the noise in here. Okay, so having done that, I'm going to move next to the pump, and Rich is going to fill up the kitchen sink and empty it, so you can really hear the pump in action right next door to it. Okay, so I'm right beside the pump here. Hopefully you just heard that kick in. And the reason you hear the pump stopping and starting is because there's a flotation device inside the pump, and the pump only kicks in when the device gets up to a certain level. One short burst and it's pushed enough water up the pipe, and it won't kick in again until the level is reached again. So again, once again, it's just clicked in again. Let it do it one more time. There it goes. So you're right beside the pump here, and it's relatively quiet.
Now I'm going to share with you our tip for making your pump the most silent possible. Now, when a pump works, it vibrates. And that is just how it is. There's not much you can do about that. However, if you isolate the pump from the ground, that will help reduce the noise of the vibrations. Now, our pump came with 4 rubber feet, although they were very small, to be fair. So in addition to those, we also purchased an anti-vibration mat, and here it is. And we placed this under the pump. You can buy them in most DIY stores or on Amazon. I looked on there and you can find a whole load for about £10. This was actually an offcut that we had left over for something. And I've left a link in the description as to where you can find these sort of things on Amazon in case you're interested in taking a look. Now, we've used this pump every day for 6 months and we hardly notice it's there. We're really happy with it as that was a concern prior to the installation, you know, what noise would it make? So this is really a great result for us. Now, I hope you found this video useful. If yes, please do give us a thumbs up as it's the best way you can help us. And do also consider subscribing if the type of projects we're covering are of interest to you. And with that, have a great day wherever you are and see you next time.